Namaste everyone and welcome. Today we continue with our Back to the Basics on Grandmaster Cho's book, Miracles Through Pranic Healing. Before we start, let's ask for divine blessing, shall we? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, personally to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguju Meiling, we humbly invoke for divine light, divine love, guidance, help, healing, divine protection. Thank you for blessing us with a loving heart, intelligent mind, and a powerful will that we may be of service to others. We thank you in full faith. So be it. All right. So before we start, let's do our cleansing. And you know how that works. In order to learn, your energy field has to be clean so the information comes in with little or no obstruction. So tap your crown, press the center of your palms, focus on your feet. So 5 areas: crown, hands, and feet. We will chant Om. And as you chant Om, just feel the divine energy come down and just disintegrate and flush out all impurities. All right, shall we? Raise your hands. Focus on your crown and your hands and your feet. Take a deep breath. Om. Om. Just be receptive. Feel the divine energy descending all negative thoughts, negative emotions in all your chakras, your energy channels, and in all your energy bodies. Just be super receptive. Om. 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 Just be super receptive. While your chakras are being cleansed, all negative thoughts, negative energies are disintegrated, extracted, expelled, and flushed out properly out of your feet into the earth. Your chakras are cleansed and energized properly, so be it. Om. 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 Right, slowly open your eyes. How do you feel? Okay, so just as a recap, in the past few segments we covered the energy body. All right, we covered the nature of pranic healing. We covered an overall discussion on the chakra system. Now we'll go through each one. All right, so if you're on this book, Miracles of Pranic Healing, this version we're in chapter, chapter 2 and page 19. All right, so we're talking about the basic chakra. Let me just use that image here to make it a little easier for you. All right. The basic chakra is at the base of the spine. Now, a lot of people, when you study the 7 chakra system, you notice different books, it's not always clear, right? Sometimes they call it the base, the root center. Sometimes they put it at the base of the spine. Sometimes they put it on the sex center, in the pubic bone area. Sometimes they put it below. Again, the reason for that is because most books try to force it into 7 chakras. And as most of you know, if you've studied long enough, the 7 chakra we talked about in the previous segments is good when you're new, but your body cannot exist with just 7 chakras. It's a common system that is used for meditation and just referring to the energy body in general, but it's not very, very accurate. All right. So the basic chakra, just imagine there's a wheel, like a flower. You know, if this is your back, behind you, as you see this in the image. Okay, so the bottom of your spine facing backwards is a wheel. And then in the front is the sex chakra. This is the next segment. And then on your pelvic floor, below it, there's one aiming downwards. Just basic is facing the back, sex chakra is facing the front. The one below is perineum. That's the one facing below. Just like the crown is facing up, like a cup like this. Just imagine a cup going down. That's the perineum. It's a minor chakra. Right? So I hope that will help clarify to a lot of you who are new. Some system, it doesn't matter what system you are. It's just like, your arm, you have two arms, one left, one right, one left leg, one right leg, one head, right? So it doesn't matter which system, it is what it is. That's what your body is. So don't get stuck with, well, my system is that. Doesn't really matter what your system is. That is your energy body, all right? So basic chakra is facing back, sex chakra is facing front, the one below is the perineum. Now people say, well, which one is the root? Well, it doesn't matter what word you want to use. You want to call the front the root, the back, the left, bottom. It doesn't matter. Don't get stuck with the words, So if you feel the root center is the one below, okay, make yourself happy. If it's in the back, make yourself happy. It doesn't really matter. The basic is facing the back, sex chakra, perineum the bottom. Good? All right, let's move on. Now, if you read the book, it says the chakra is located at the base of the spine or the coccyx area. The basic chakra controls and energizes, strengthens the entire or the whole visible physical body. I'll just kind of speed this up, right? Energizes musculoskeletal system, the spine, production of quality of blood, adrenal glands, the tissues of the body, internal organs. It also affects and energizes sexual organs. The basic chakra affects body heat, general vitality, growth of infants, children, and then it says malfunction of it manifests as arthritis, spinal ailments, blood ailments, cancer, leukemia, allergy, low vitality, and slow healing of bones and broken bones. All right, let's talk about this. It's something like this. Your basic chakra is the primary chakra that draws energy from the ground. So you have spiritual energy, solar energy, air energy, and earth energy. Now, if you think about it, which one is most dense or material? The earth energy, right? That's how you watch people who do martial arts. They inhale, they squat down, and you notice their physical body is very, very strong. That's because they use a lot of earth energy. The particles of earth energy is very, very big and very dense, very, very packed. So earth energy is compatible with your bones, muscles, your tissues. In other words, that's why he says in the book, visible physical body. If you compare it to your blood, right, to your emotions, your thoughts, you notice it's denser, it vibrates lower. So the physical body thrives on physical energy. Okay? So your basic chakra is the main receptor of that coming off the ground. It comes up your feet, from your feet, goes to your perineum, goes to your basic chakra. Your basic chakra absorbs it. That's why, to summarize, your basic chakra energizes your bones, your muscles, your blood, your body temperature, and cell repair. Now, children heal a lot faster, in addition to having more vitality overall, is because their basic chakra is very, very active. All right. The basic chakra also gives you warmth. You notice it's, if you look at the color, it primarily has three colors: red, orange, and yellow. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Well, I studied the basic chakra, the root chakra, it's red. That's partially correct. Once you study more, if you have a very advanced clairvoyant look at the basic, there are actually, as it spins, three colors: red, okay? That's for growth, for body warmth, for movement of energy, right? When something is warm, it has a tendency to move. What else? When something is warm, it has a tendency to expand. That's why that red energy is what gives you energy channels, the ability to expand. Then you have orange. Orange is the color of expelling. You learned this in advanced pranic healing, but we're just going to give you a little background here. So the orange is what allows you to expel waste products. Also, when you exercise, you sweat. When your body sweats, the orange energy is generated inside the body, and that's what expels disease and dirty energy, used up energy through your health rays. We covered that 2 segments ago. The health rays, the rays of light that are hollow beams that allow dirty energy to go out. It is the orange that pushes it out. All right. What else? Your basic chakra also has orange. Yellow. Yellow is the color of your bones, your ligaments and tendons. So that's hardening, cementing. So as you can see, the basic chakra having these 3 colors, it's what allows your body to heal faster. Right? I'm talking about tissues, wound healing. What else? Healing of bones, ligaments, tendons. All right? That's the basic chakra. That's why children heal a lot faster. Now, one more thing. The basic chakra also gives you body warmth because of the red. You'll notice children, a lot of your children, when it's cold outside, they're wearing a short and t-shirt, right? In your case, you're wearing several layers of thick clothing to keep warm. In their case, they go, oh, no, mom, dad, it feels warm. That's because the basic chakra provides red energy. Now, as the body gets weaker, as the body gets older, and let's say the person didn't take care of their physical body, the basic chakra got weaker, guess what happens? Not as much red is produced, not as much earth energy comes up. That's why the body gets weaker and gets cold easily. Now, you'll notice that some people, oh man, they're constantly hot, right? That's because the basic is very active. All right, so the basic chakra gives what? Warmth to the body. All right, let's keep going. Persons with highly active basic chakras tend to be robust and healthy, while those with less active basic chakra tend to be fragile and weak. As you can see, the basic chakra gives the person physical strength and vitality. All right, what you call aging, at least energetically, is part of it. Is when the basic chakra is not as strong, so the bones, muscle, blood, and body temperature and cell repair are not being charged with this energy. So if you keep your basic chakra strong, there's a tendency for the body not to age as quickly. In fact, if you have the proper technique of keeping the basic chakra strong, it actually gives you youthfulness. So in summary, basic chakra is the chakra of youthfulness. What else? Old people usually have depleted and very depleted basic chakra. This is why their bodies are weak and become smaller. The spine tend to curve and they tend to develop arthritis and other musculoskeletal issues. So just imagine if this is the spine, all right? The basic chakra is here. When it's strong, energy is going up, so the spine is straighter. Just imagine if there's less energy, the basic gets smaller, then less energy going up, so it curves. So keep your basic chakra strong. What else? The basic chakra is like a root of a tree. That's probably why they call it root chakra, right? For a lot of traditions. If the root is weak, the tree is weak. If the basic is weak, the body is also very weak. Another term for the basic chakra is, there it is, root chakra. Now, let's take it many steps further. I would refer you to another of Grandmaster Cho's book, Pranic Psychotherapy. All right, let's talk about its psychological functions. So far, we talked about the basic chakras, physical functions. Now, let's talk about psychological functions. You see, one thing that a lot of people don't realize, the basic chakra actually affects you on many dimensions at the same time, just like your other chakras. So physically, it gives you physical power, physical strength. Then emotionally, psychologically, it affects your survival instinct. So that's what we're going to cover. All right, if you don't mind, I'll just go a little quickly so you don't have to listen to me read. Anyway, get the book. As much as some of you say, well, I'll just listen, it's always good to be reminded. Okay, just to give you an idea, when I first started with the teacher, I read all his books. In fact, some of his books I would read several times to make sure I understood it. So as much as we want to summarize this for you and everything, get the book so as you read, it allows you to internalize the teachings deeper. Okay? So basic chakra is located at the base of the spine. It is a center for self-preservation, instinct of survival. Okay? Persons who are depressed or suicidal have depleted and underactive basic chakra. Persons who have lost touch with reality, physical reality, or have become quite unrealistic also have depleted basic chakras. Now, listen to this part. Persons who, in spite of their qualifications and their relatively good health condition, have difficulty in getting a job and have partially depleted and underactivated basic chakra. Okay, let's talk about it. So in other words, basic chakra might be strong, as in they have strong physical body. That's the physical function. So the basic chakra is strong, so it's giving them physical energy. But emotionally, psychologically, just imagine this chakra also exists on your emotional and mental worlds. So when the basic chakra, as it's spinning in those dimensions, if it's weak, the person will have strong physical body, but there's no drive to financially succeed. Get the idea? So try to think in different dimensions at the same time. It's just like physically you're moving your body, emotionally you're feeling something, mentally you're thinking something. You can exist simultaneously in different worlds. All right, let's continue. Now, it's something like this. Basic chakra is the chakra of action. All right? So we'll go through this a little more in detail. So to make it a little more experiential for you, press the center of your palms. Imagine you're looking at your own back. Okay? All right. Just like you see your image here, imagine that is your back. Now go like this. Say the size of my basic chakra. This is scanning diameter. All right? This is how to feel how wide it is. This is how to feel how much energy is coming out. So let's go like this. Okay? Say my basic chakra. Now, let's see if your thoughts affect your basic chakra. Think of something that you've been procrastinating on. All of us have list of lists, right? So just pick one. Now think of that thing that you haven't done yet. Now verbally repeat after me. I will wait longer. I'll do this later. You're procrastinating, aren't you? Now watch. Go like this. Say my basic chakra now. You notice it shrinks. Now let's change this. Raise your dominant hand. Repeat after me. I will and decree. I will get this done immediately. So be it. So be it. I'll get this done immediately. Visualize yourself accomplishing that task now. Okay, done. Easy. Put your hand like this. Say my basic chakra. Hey, you notice it got bigger. You know why? When you have the intention to do something, the basic chakra enlarges to draw more energy to give you the fuel to fulfill whatever that intention is. However, here's the mistake most people make. They think just making intention, their life is set. Well, as you know, what did they say? The road to hell is full of good intentions. Intention doesn't mean anything without follow through. So your basic chakra got big, but if you don't follow through, it shrinks back. So stop doing intentions if you don't want to follow through. You get the idea? So intention has to be matched with what? Follow through. You have yin and yang. So you can look at it. Yin is the form. Yang is the energy. Or you can say yang is the energy as in the intention. Yin, the form, is when you physically use the physical body. Doesn't matter. It could work either way. But the idea is when the basic chakra is so used to having the right intention and following through, it gets bigger and stronger. At some point, it's like a muscle. It's now it's very well used. So it's toned, very functional. That's why there's a saying, if you want to get something done, give it to somebody who's already busy. You notice that? If somebody's already busy, their mind, their emotions, their thoughts, everything's already geared to having prioritized all their tasks. And then they just get things done like a machine. That's because the basic chakras are very, very active. Okay? What else? The practice of one's profession involves survival. If a person is having problems finding a job, work performance, or business, the basic chakra should be treated. I'll just summarize. There's this guy who was having financial problem. When his basic chakra was scanned, it was depleted, as in weak and small. After several treatments, his work performance productivity improved in a matter of 1 to 2 months. That's pretty good. Not long after, he was promoted to a high position, making it possible for him to make more money and solve his problems. You're going, how could energy work affect it? It's something like this. Repeat after me. The condition of my chakras affect my behavior. What is it? The condition of my chakras affect my behavior. My behavior affect my chakras. So in other words, when a person doesn't have the drive to work, to get things done, the basic chakra is small. Make sense? So you can do it the easy way, like force yourself to make yourself work harder, which works. Or you already know your behavior affected your basic chakra, it got small, right? So you go, well, why don't I do this? It also works the other way. Why don't I remove the self-doubt and negative thoughts in the basic chakra, charge it with lots of energy, make the chakra big, so the tendency to survive, to be financially successful, becomes effortless. You get my point? So when a basic chakra is big, you don't have to try very hard to have that drive to succeed, because that is the inherent tendency of the basic. It's just like your heart. When you love someone, as you feel love for that person and show affection, the basic chakra becomes bigger. If the basic chakra, the heart chakra. So when the heart chakra expands and it's big, you don't have to try too hard to love that person or love people. So the condition of the chakras affect the behavior affect the chakras. As you change the energetic condition, you're able to affect them not only physically, but also emotionally and psychologically. Make sense? That's the basic chakra. Let's keep going. All right, application. If you know someone having financial problems, having difficulty finding a job, and they really want to, use pranic healing, clean out the basic, super energize it. Now, one thing about pranic psychotherapy, if you haven't taken the class or read the book, it's something like this. There's the condition of the basic chakra. There's also how your thoughts and emotions affect it. So earlier, do you notice when I had you think of something that you've been procrastinating on, and you procrastinate even more? The basic shrunk, right? So if you have somebody who could see energy, within the basic chakra are certain old thoughts and emotions. So these thoughts and emotions are from previous failures, previous challenges, doubts, or even someone that has embedded things in it. Like, for example, some of us grew up with parents or loved ones who were not very careful with their words. What did they do? They say, oh, you never amount to anything, you'll never succeed. They don't mean anything bad, or at least I hope not, but their thoughts were so strong, it embedded itself in the aura. And if it's connected to the money or survival or career, it embeds itself. That negative thought embeds itself in the basic. So as the basic's trying to spin, it cannot spin because of what? You just imagine you have a propeller that's trying to spin. It has a lot of things stuck to it, so it cannot spin. So that's why the basic chakra starts to shrink. So as you go through life and you fight through difficulties, those things are removed. Or you do the easy way. Have somebody do healing, pull all that junk out, feed it lots of energy. So as the basic spins faster, guess what? Your thinking, your feeling starts to change, and it's easy to be more dynamic and successful. Are we making sense to you? That's the difference between using energy and without using energy. All right, let's take it several steps further. If a person is suicidal, basic chakra small depleted prevents a person to prevent a person from committing suicide. Activate the basic. Of course, I don't know about in your country, but in the U.S., if you know somebody who's threatening to commit suicide, you have to report it to authorities, right? Just remember that. Be smart. Anyway, so let's say you already did that on the physical world. You clean and super energize the basic. When the basic chakra gets strong, the drive to live becomes stronger. Clear? So you clean, you super energize, and as you can repeat this over and over again, the person's thoughts start to change. Okay? Let's see. Hyperactive children have overactive basic chakra. Some children are sedated to control hyperactivity, but this kind of treatment is doubtful. All right, I personally have not worked on one, but we've heard of people where they use medication, it has other side effects. I think most of you know that. What would be better to clean the basic chakra, right? But instead of making it smaller, you can do sweeping by moving that physical energy upwards. So distribute it. It's called distributive sweeping. So in other words, they're hyperactive, right? So you cleanse the basic chakra, and then you use the technique in pranic psychotherapy to move the energy and distribute to other parts of the body. So that excess energy in the basic chakra is used by the rest of the body. And since the basic is not overstimulated, that person calms down. Now, talk about next chapter. Okay, next one. Next paragraph, Next one, people with insomnia have overactive basic chakra. To induce sleep, thoroughly cleanse the basic and the solar plexus and then inhibit them. All right, look at me. If the chakras are relatively even, let's say like this. When a person has such a strong drive during the day, the basic chakra becomes bigger at the bottom. So they're like, right? Here's the problem. At night, when your body sleeps, your basic chakra and the lower chakras normally shrink. So your aura becomes almost like a V. So it's bigger on the top, small at the bottom to allow the soul to travel and learn lessons and heal and do service and so on and so on. In the morning, as the soul comes back, the basic chakra opens up, opens up more, the person wakes up. The problem is if the person has such a super strong basic during the day, at night when the body tries to sleep, the basic chakra does not shrink normally. Guess what happens? The person has difficulty sleeping. So a bunch of you overachievers, that's one of the problems you encounter. So there are many ways to do it. You can do self-cleaning, right? Have somebody clean your basic, and if needed, you can shrink the basic and the solar plexus. When we get to the solar plexus, you learn that the solar plexus is also connected to emotional drive, the passion to do things, that's solar plexus. So by the time you have the basic and the solar plexus overstimulated, this emotional drive, you just push, this gets activated. So you get things done. The problem is, at night when the body's trying to rest, what happens? If it's doesn't normally shrink, then the person has difficulty sleeping. So with healing, you're able to do this. Okay? Let's see. Let's keep going. All right, last part. The basic chakra is not only for self-survival, it is also the center for dynamic activity. This is what we talked about earlier. The center for action, all right? A dynamic executive or somebody who's successful in business tends to have a highly activated and energized basic chakra. A person with small depleted basic chakra has tendency of making plans but not implementing them. That person also tends to procrastinate or keep things on hold. The basic chakra needs to be treated because it's a chakra of action, as we said. All right, let's go through it. Let's make it simple. The basic chakra is the chakra of productivity. All right? If you want to be productive, the basic chakra. If you're hiring employees, the messenger taught me this technique before. If you're hiring people, scan the basic. If the basic chakra is weak, then that means that person might talk a good game, but they won't get anything done. The basic chakra is the chakra of action. All right? One more. A lot of you have great ideas, right? You wouldn't be watching this if you don't have any spiritual ambition or spiritual yearning. You want to be a more advanced soul, to help more people. Well, guess what? Good intentions of wanting to help people without the strong basic chakra and resources, nothing happens. You can have all the great ideas to help humanity. If you sit on your butt and do nothing, nothing gets done, nobody's helped. There are a lot of people out there, they have all these great ideas to help humanity, right? But since the basic is weak, their brain, their mind cannot physicalize those great ideas into action and getting resources. Now, you notice there's some people, when they want to do something, they might not have the brightest ideas in the world, but when they do something, they act on it. That's the basic chakra. I'm sure a lot of you want to go to holy places. You might want to open up a spiritual center or healing center to help a lot of people, right? You probably have loved ones and friends that you'd like to help. Guess what? All of these great ideas are not free. The basic chakra is the chakra of manifestation. In order for you to manifest those great ideas, those good intentions, those loving feelings to help people, the basic chakra has to bring it down to the physical world to make it tangible. That's why I remember before I would tell Messenger all these ideas, I want to do this or this. He doesn't say anything. He'll just say, "Oh, good idea." In other words, it's not what you say, it's what you do. Basically, that's what he didn't say it to me like that, but after a while, I just shut up. I just show him, and after that, okay, good work. In other words, I don't tell him what he's going to do. I just do it. Then I talk to the teacher. Because, as you know, talk is cheap. Anybody can have great ideas, say, I'll do this, I'll do that. It's just like we know some people that have all these great ideas to start a center. There's this lady many years ago I met in one of the place I teach. She said, "Oh, I have this idea to start a big spiritual center. We want to include pranic healing, Reiki, massage, and all these great ideas." I go, "Oh, that's wonderful." So she told me all these, almost like a business plan. Not really, but almost. She said, "Okay, I want to do this." I was really impressed. I go, "Great." So I told her, "All right, why don't you come up with a business plan?" A business plan is what we call in Kriya Shakti, a concretized meditation. In other words, you have this idea, concretize it. So I said, "Oh, show me next time I see you." So I came back in 6 months. I said, "How's it going?" "Oh, I'm still working on the plan." "All right." Guess what? It's been 5 years. Nothing happened. It's still a plan. I said, "Oh, okay." Apparently, the basic's not strong enough. And I look at her. She has a good heart. She's a loving person and everything. But the basic chakra is not strong enough to give it the what? That's the basic chakra. Now, to put things in perspective, if the basic chakra is very, very strong, but the heart is not developed, the person develops what is called greed. They just want to do things. Everything's me, I. The heart's not developed. There's no caring for other people. So you don't want that either. So the key is balance. Okay? So as we go through these different chakras, we'll talk about the strengths and weaknesses of the basic. What else? When the basic chakra is overstimulated, that person has a tendency to be too materialistic. Hence, they become greedy. So by itself, yes, be strong and clean, but as you know, all your chakras are interconnected, so we'll talk about the rest and how it affects each other. All right? Now, in this book, the chakras and their functions, it also talks about where the basic chakra is the container or part of this energy called Kundalini energy. All right, I'm not going to go to it too much. It's more for a spiritual reason, but I'll just touch base on it to kind of lead you in the right direction. So this so-called Kundalini energy is oftentimes described as a fire going up the spine. Now the question is, why is it fire? Well, it's obvious. The basic chakra is red, orange, and yellow. When you light a match, if you look at the fire, what it looks like? Reddish, orange, and yellow. Number two, since coming from the basic, it's warm. So as it goes up the spine, the person feels warm. Well, you combine the image of a flame and warmth, what do you have? Fire. Right? Now, another image they also use, a symbol, is like a cobra. right? The question is, why cobra? A cobra, before it strikes, coils back and goes like that. So it basically symbolizes massive potential power. So this so-called Kundalini energy located at the base of the spine, many things have been said about it. Let's just super simplify it. This so-called Kundalini, 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 all right? So this Kundalini energy is essentially a certain substance, if you will, as it goes up your spine, goes to your brain and nervous system and sensitizes it so it can register higher frequency, all right? In other words, when your body's sleeping, when you're meditating, what are you trying to do? You're trying to quiet the room, close your eyelids, right? Not to have too much smell, taste, sound, everything else, right? So that you can go within. In other words, you're trying to go beyond the five senses: sight, sound, smell, touch, taste. So when you meditate or sleep, you're trying to sense what's happening beyond those five. Well, our brains, we're not originally trained to register those. That's why anything above, we call it the sixth sense, isn't it? Or ESP, extra sensory perception, extra of the five. So this so-called Kundalini energy, through spiritual practice and meditation, little by little, it goes to the brain. It goes from the bottom of the spine, goes up. As it infuses your brain and nervous system, what happens? You become more sensitive, so you become more intuitive. When you meditate, you see stuff, you sense stuff. All of that is due to this so-called Kundalini energy, all right? So again, I can't go to in detail, but that gives you an idea. When some people say, oh, my Kundalini is awakened, I experience enlightenment. The light has always been there. It's just that when that substance hits your brain, you suddenly can sense it. It's just like you have an AM radio. It cannot get FM signals. But if you suddenly change the hardware, now it can sense or vibrate at a higher frequency. Suddenly, this band of frequencies called FM stations become available to you. You get the idea? So spiritual practice has many levels. Part of it is safely awakening this energy so that your brain and your nervous system become more sensitive to the energy coming down from God, from the teachers, from the higher soul, so that you can become more enlightened. Enlightened in the sense that you start to realize on a deeper level, you are a being of light, and this being of light is connected to all the lights in the universe. That's that. All right? So I hope you learned something in the basic chakra. One thing you can do if you like, and with the basic chakra is every morning, you can do gentle squats, okay? We can't do it right now because I'm sitting down. But if you're to scan your basic, or have somebody who's taking pranic healing, or just get someone you know, try to feel the energy of the basic, and you just say, basic chakra, prosperity energy. And if you scan it, you have the person do gentle squat. They don't have to go all the way down, just gentle squats. It basically pumps the basic chakra. If you have a big project, clean your basic chakra thoroughly, do gentle squats. As you do this, guess what happens? The basic becomes stronger. If you remember we said earlier, the condition of the aura and the chakras affect your behavior. Now, one last thing. You already know, as St. Francis says, it is in giving that you receive. Now, one of the ways to increase your prosperity energy of your basic chakra is to give money to charity. Because when you be generous, the heart gets activated, so does the basic. So you'll notice if you scan your basic chakra, you give money to charity, guess what happens? Within a few seconds, your basic chakra starts to increase. It's based on the law of karma. It is in giving that you receive. Okay? So as we go to the other chakras, we'll talk about more of these different applications. And one last thing. If you have a big project, or financially you're not doing well, or you're going to go for a job interview, or whatever, have somebody do healing on you. Okay? If you haven't taken the classes, you don't know what I'm talking about, go to one of your centers, have somebody do pranic psychotherapy. For what? Removal of self-doubt. A lot of that self-doubt for success, or even fear of success, is located in the basic chakra. Once it is removed, you notice your thoughts will change. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, out of nowhere, I started having self-doubt about our finances. So I go, oh, wow, this is weird. And I go, let me validate. It doesn't mean that since I sense it, it's going to happen. You have to validate to see if it's happening in relation to reality. So I check the bank account. There's money there. Income-wise, it's smooth. I go, what the heck is this? So in pranic psychotherapy, we scan the basic chakra for thoughts and emotions. So I was scanning the basic, and sure enough, there were a lot of little thoughts and emotions that were inside that came to the surface. All right. So after I did pranic psychotherapy, cleaned it all out, energized it, I was meditating and go, wow, all those thoughts disappeared. You see, it's something like this. This is your chakra, right? There are old energies embedded inside. That's why some of you, as you enter the spiritual path, certain things start to come to the surface. Things that you never thought you had a problem or issue with, self-doubt, self-sabotage, fear of success. You never had those ideas, right? And then suddenly, when you start doing energy work, these come to the surface. Of course, what do people say? Oh, it's always psychic attack. Ignore them. It's always easy to blame other people. In reality, these are things that come to the surface that we need to get rid of. Okay? I'm sure there's sometimes envy from other people, but based on my experience, and we've been doing this for a while, 80-90% of it is from the inside coming to the surface. If you blame other people, you could put 20 layer shields on. If the problem is coming from the inside, that shield is useless. So it's better to say, okay, let's start with me. Maybe this is my own junk coming to the surface. Do meditation, do self-healing, have somebody pull this out of you. And then from there, if it's still there, then you look outside. Always start here, go out. Okay? So at that point, I said, instead of blaming someone, I started doing self-healing. And then I go, whoa, my mind became clear. I realized what was the mistake was. Things that stupid, dumb things I've done in the past. So clean the chakra, learn the lesson. Things improve even more. Easy, isn't it? All right, so I hope you learned something in this section. The next segment was going to be on the sex chakra, and we'll just keep going. All right, so make sure you get those books if you don't have it. Miracles of Pranic Healing, Pranic Psychotherapy, the chakras and the functions. What I'm going to do is going to refer to different books. That way you have a more complete understanding of the chakras. All right, so let's give thanks, shall we? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, we thank you for the great blessings of the love, the guidance, help, and protection. Thank you for blessing us with the ability to learn, but more importantly, to learn and not only improve our lives, but especially to be of service to others. We thank you. To my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguji Mailing, I thank you. In full faith, so be it. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Again, if you don't mind leaving some comments, we'd like to hear from you. And thank you very much. I know a lot of you are donating to help keep this video ministry free. And that is the goal, to keep getting these priceless teachings of my teacher to as many people as possible. And we'd like to keep it free. That way more people can attend, can learn, and regardless of their financial situation, they can still absorb this priceless teaching. All right? And the rest of you who want to give, it'll help pay for expenses so we can expand even more and touch more souls. Other than that, Atma means soul, Atma, Namaste. You guys take care. We'll see you in the next segment. Bye.